Two for you back to back on 92.1 Wirral Radio, on DAB and online. Mystique and One Night Stand and Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal on DAB and online and on your mobile apps as well. I'm Adam Sidone, going through till 12 o'clock today. Loads of great tunes, and I am delighted to say we have Paul Wharmby from Advanced Business Vision in today. He's going to be talking about all things business from, well, everything really, every genre of business. So if you want to put a question to Paul, then feel free. Whether you are setting up a business, whether you're sat there running a business, this is the man to talk to. Any questions, then do get in touch. 0151 637 3737 is the number to ring. You can drop us a text 66777 and put the word Wirral in front of your text, or drop us an email studio@wirralradio.com. Brilliant track from Lawson. That's Roads on 92.1 Wirral Radio, on DAB and online and on your mobile apps as well. Leon Lewis, now new track, Fire Under My Feet before that. And I am delighted to say once again, as ever, we have our only one business guru in today, Mr. Paul Wharmby from Advanced Business Vision.
Good morning, Adam. Yes, all alone, flying solo today. Apologies, Donald can't be with us today, but he sends his regards.
As long as he's okay, that's the main thing.
He's fine.
Marvellous. Right. Paul Wharmby, he is a business guru. He knows his stuff. Use him, and I believe just use him. That's all I can say. Any questions, whether you're setting up a business, whether you're in an existing business, whether you're having problems with a business, get in touch with this man. He knows his stuff. He really does. 0151 637 3737 is the number to ring. Text in your questions to 66777. Put the word Wirral in front of your text message, or give us an email, studio@wirralradio.co.uk. Of course, don't forget you can tweet us as well at Wirral Radio 921. Paul, we left last week on, I'm not going to say a cheesy ending.
Yes, I remember it well.
But you did leave us with a little bit of a cheesy comment when you said
I love
team.
Cheese. Team, yes, together everyone achieves more. I remember it well. Yes, always
shivering.
shaking. Yeah, no problem.
So you left it when you spoke about having to wow the customers and wow the people that you work with.
Yeah.
How would you advise people to go about that?
Yeah, no problem. I mean, again, it can be deemed to be a bit of a cheesy comment, again, saying wow the customer, but to me and to a lot of the people I deal with, it's a concept that you really should start to embrace today. People sort of associate that level of customer service with Americans, have a nice day, and they think it's all just so insincere, Do
you not think sometimes that can be a little bit off-putting to
Exactly. It's the way you do it and the way you portray yourself. So I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that we become Americanized, and I mean that most sincerely, in a nice possible way. But maybe just do it in a much more, if you like, friendly way. So there's lots and lots of ways we can wow our customers, and it really is to me about raising that customer service beyond what people expect. So it's going beyond customers' expectations, really. And it's about doing it the first time we meet a customer, and then every time after that. A lot of people tend to impress a customer or a new client when they first meet. Great, because you really want that new client to come to you and for you to then provide your products or your services to them. But for me, it's about doing it continually doing these wonderful things that we have to do, and it's about making a difference and about going that extra mile. I think I said it last week or the week before. You go into a retail outlet or a restaurant, and the member of the team, we'll call it, comes along or doesn't come along to speak to you, or doesn't even give you eye contact. Think about that, how that makes you feel. If you're getting an interaction with your customer or your supplier, it's about engagement. So get involved and get engaging, whatever you want to call it. For me, it's about the total experience. So forget the fact that you might be selling some sort of industrial widget or a burger or a meal or whatever it may be, or something from a retail outlet on a high street. It's about making sure that your customer has a total experience, which is fantastic. So they walk away and think, that was so good, Think about some of the online auction houses that are out there today where people give feedback, and they give positive, negative or whatever feedback. That enhances that customer service, doesn't it, in a nutshell? It allows people to understand that this customer, this supplier, is giving great service all the time, and it really is as simple as that. And again, I call it wowing the customer, taking that experience to the next level. Maybe we can't do that wow all the time, but constantly strive to do the wow factor. And again, I think I said this last week, if you give good service to a customer, that customer's likely to tell a couple of people. You know, if you give bad service, guess what? They tell everybody they know. It's out there on social media, you know. It's awful, you know. I had an incident yesterday. We were waiting for a delivery from one of the major carriers in the UK. Okay, not going to mention any names. They know who they are. And I got a text halfway through today, your delivery will happen today. And I thought, that's what I call good customer service. So my guys were waiting for this. It never arrived. 7:30 last night, I logged onto their website, and it was still out for delivery on their system. It never arrived. So guess where that leaves me now today? One, I haven't got a consignment which I need to give to a client tomorrow. Yeah, I've always built in a bit of time. But they didn't tell me it wasn't coming. They left it on their website and via their text to say it was actually coming. So bad service, bad feeling.
It costs other companies money as well, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Because then you've got to pay for someone to go and stay behind and wait for the delivery to come.
So it's all inconvenient, you know. And the first thing I did this morning was log on, see where the parcel was. It was at the same state as it was last night at 7:30. So I then called customer services and thought, I'm having a conversation. Spoke to a really nice lady who then helped me out and has committed to make it a delivery today between 2 and 5. So she's given me a time window now, which is okay, you know.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what time it turns up.
But it's about wowing your customer, giving good customer service.
It is, right. Loads of questions to get through. I've got some questions on setting up businesses as well. I've been lynched by someone walking in today. Oh my God. I had to go and get a pen. You two, play for you next.
Wirral Radio Daytime, brought to you by Car Farm Garden Centre, a growing shopping experience on the A553 to Hoylake.
Foster carers come from all walks of life.
Male or female, young and old, single, married, with a partner, living alone, or with a family.
We need people from all backgrounds to be foster carers.
A great track from U2. It's called The Sweetest Thing on 92.1 Wirral Radio, on DAB and online as well. And we're broadcasting as part of the show live on Periscope as well. So if you go to my Twitter page, Big Sid at Big Sid 921, then you can click on and you can listen to us and watch us in the studio as well, doing what we do, and send your questions in via there as well. Paul Wharmby in from Advanced Business Vision.
Good morning again.
He is our business guru, so all things business, whether you're setting up or you're in an existing business, then this is the man to speak to. Right, I've been asked to ask you a question. You know what? I spend my life now walking around with a pen and paper in case I'm stopped by people. It's unbelievable.
I love it.
And it's on something that we've covered quite a bit. Mm-hmm. It's on business plans, which we have covered quite a bit. Yeah. But I think this is an aspect of a business plan that we actually haven't covered.
Okay.
I've been asked, is it expensive to get a business plan prepared by somebody else? So if you haven't got the ability to make one, but you want someone to do it for you, can you pay someone to make it?
Of course you can, yeah. I mean, I would recommend you go to somebody that knows what they're doing, and there are people out there, of course, and there's one sitting here. But, you know, it really is about thinking about who you want to work with you to put these sort of things together. It's got to be somebody who can understand exactly what you're trying to do. And when we try and put a cost on something, that's always quite difficult. You know, lots of companies will give you an hourly rate. Will give you an hourly rate. Or they will give you a day rate. Now, to put a business plan together, as we've said in the past couple of weeks, there's so many elements and parts of a business plan. You know, it's not an hour's job. It's not going to be, I can have that done in an hour for you or whatever. If somebody wants an executive summary to take to a bank or to start the process off, that's quite good. But it really involves a first face-to-face meeting between the client and the business advisor. And a lot of people say the first port of call for any advice should be to an accountant. Well, I think that's not quite right. I think the first port of call for any business advice should be to a business advisor. And then I say there are many out there, of which I'm one. And it really means understanding what the client wants. So if the client says, look, I'm starting a business from scratch, here's my idea, here's my concept, we need to sit together to talk that through, to talk about things like, okay, you've got an idea, where's your market? As we've said a couple of weeks ago, where's your target market? Are you going to provide that target market with a product or a service that someone wants to buy? Have you done your homework? Do you need somebody to do your homework for you? So many elements, Adam. You know, the financial side. A lot of people get scared by the numbers because maybe they just don't sort of understand what a profit and loss is, what a balance sheet is, what a cash flow forecast is, what a sales forecast is. A good business advisor can put all those things together and help you. Think about spending a relatively small amount of money in those early stages that can reap the benefits down the line. A lot of businesses today, as we've said every week, don't even bother with the business plan. You know, they just fly by the seat of the pants, and there's a lot of mileage in doing that if you're lucky, you know, and you've got to be a little bit lucky to do that. I believe, and throughout my career and all the advice I've given to businesses I've worked with, all my clients, I always say, put a business plan together, whether it be a 3-month, a 1 year, a 3 year, a 5 year, or whatever. They're not fixed in stone. They are flexible. They're fluid. They should be visited, looked at as a measurement and a monitoring tool, so you know how your business is doing. And I know you put me on the spot by saying, is it expensive to put a business plan together? It depends on how long is that piece of string. Yeah. It really, really does, you know. It could be an hourly rate, it could be a day rate, it could be a contract rate. But a good business plan is always good practice in my book. Put a business plan together, put all those elements in there so that you, as the business owner, as that entrepreneur who's going to start out or drive their business to the next level, have an understanding of what you need to do, and more importantly, how you're going to do it from a resource point of view, you know, equipment, stock, people, from a marketing point of view, branding, awareness, social media, website, and from a financial point of view, which is the ultimate thing here. Where's that funding coming from? How's it going to be spent? Over what period of time? Get those things in place.
Is it more difficult to put a business plan together if you've already started a business?
No, it's no different whatsoever, because what we're saying is the business plan is starting at the moment you engage the business advisor, and it will say, this is where we are now. And the purpose of the business plan is what? What do you want to do? Do you want to just see how your business will develop over the next couple of years? Fantastic. We can track that out. We can forecast that out. Or you may say, you know, I want my business to now start trading in Europe. Let's just use that as an example. So the business plan would look at how, where, why, and when. Those key questions, and by answering all those questions, it gives you a document, a living document to look at and say, this is what we need to do. And if for whatever reason you're not doing it by those timelines that you've set, you can review it and say, well, why didn't we do that? You know, I'm sure you guys at Wirral Radio do similar things here behind the scenes. You know, John and the team will be looking at what we need to do as a radio station to grow our listening audience, etc., and they're going to put plans in place to allow those things to happen with milestones, and you just tick them off. And if you're not doing them, no one's going to say, why haven't you done that? Maybe they will, I don't know. But why haven't you done that? Well, you have a reason, don't you? You have a logical discussion about this hasn't happened because, or we need to tweak this. And again, I think I've used the analogy for businesses as a Grand Prix racing car. A Grand Prix racing car goes round and round that track, so many laps for a Grand Prix, 70 laps. If there's a problem, it doesn't automatically retire. It pulls into the pits for a tweak, a service, a tune-up. That's what you should be doing with your business. Don't just run your business forever. Yeah? Bring it into the pits, have a tune-up, speak to a business advisor, get someone who's actually understanding of business, who knows what they're doing, not specifically your business, but general business per se, and can help you take your business to the next level. Great way of doing things, but people just back off and think, I just want to work in my business. You've heard the phrase, work on it as well as in it. That's what it's about.
So it doesn't matter whether it's a tiny business, a really minor business, or a humongous business.
Nope.
You still need one.
No, I think so, you know. But again, you know, if you're a sole trader working, you know, out of a home base, doing what you want to do from a small room in your own home, you know, where you live, and you're happily doing what you do, that's fantastic. But at some point, I think it's pertinent and very, very sort of, you know, robust to get a business plan together so you can look at what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's a great way of understanding your business, because lots of people just keep doing it, and they need to know what they're doing.
Brilliant, Paul. Honestly, God, there's plenty to go through. Don't forget, we are on Periscope as well. They're loving it on Periscope.
Excellent.
There's people all over the country watching this and they're loving it. I'm watching the comments fly in saying that I'll show you in a minute. But
fantastic.
Go to the Twitter page at BigSid921 and you can watch what we're doing on Periscope as well. On the way for you next, got a track from Wings.
We are Wirral.
We are Wirral Radio. Wirral Radio Daytime. Brought to you by Car Farm Garden Centre. A growing shopping experience on the A553.
Wings, and with a little look on 92.1 DAB and online, it is Wirral Radio with myself, Adam Sidor, and joined by Paul Wharmby from Advanced Business Vision, talking all things business. You're under a Periscope as well. Come and see what we're doing, and we'll talk to you off the air as well in between tracks. And
unbelievable.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, what interaction. Fantastic.
And another great source of social media for businesses.
Absolutely.
I say, if you are a business out there as well, I must say it is a free tool, and any free advertising and stuff like that is fantastic for the business, surely, isn't it?
And it works, doesn't it? It's looking at what we've been saying off air, the interaction, the questions that have been coming in have just been amazing. Yeah. So great opportunity to get on Periscope. Why not? Very good.
We've been asked a question through Periscope about break-even analysis in business plans.
Yeah. Break-even analysis is a very technical term. It allows you to determine what you need to sell monthly, weekly, annually, in order to cover the costs of you doing your business, and we call it the break-even point. Now, the guy the person on Periscope didn't actually give me an understanding of what they wanted it for, so I'll just give some generic information. Basically, okay, there are many calculations that you can use, but basically, it's about understanding. You as a business person, understanding what costs are in your business. Now, that may be your rent, your rates, your mortgage, your utility bills, all of the things that you're having to pay out to do your business. You need to know them all, even down to things like we buy 6 pens a month. And you may think, well, that's a bit pedantic, Paul, but it's not. It's about understanding every single cost within your business that allows you to run your business. So not just the stock that you may buy in to sell, every single cost within your business. You need to know a number, and that number then is what you need to sell to break even. And that number, that cost includes wages, salaries, anything, every single thing. So let's say you've got a cost base of around about, let's just use a simple number, £5,000 a month. Okay, so you need to sell a minimum of £5,000 worth of your goods or your stock or your services per month to break even. Anything above that is the profit. Okay, so that money, that £5,000 that we just mentioned, would pay for everything. Would pay for your salary, would pay for the boss's salary, would pay for the petrol in his car, would pay for the telephones, the electricity, the rent, the rates, whatever it would be. Anything above that. So if your business then is turning over, and we use that term turnover, which is sales turnover. If we then say that your business is turning over £8,000, simple maths, 8,000 take away 5,000 leaves 3,000. You've got a profit of £3,000. I'm doing the maths here as we speak. You know, it's simple. But you need an understanding of costs. You need to know what your sales are, and they may be projected sales, as we've said before, like a forecast. So you look at sales forecast. That allows you to then run what we call a profit and loss, which allows us to understand the break-even point. And they're all what we call business terms, but they've got to be used. Now, business break-even analysis is also mistaken for what we call payback, which is a payback period, and that's time where we would recover an investment. That's a completely different. That's a return on investment. But the break-even analysis is specifically looking at how you would work out your break-even point, which is your sales, take away your costs. Simple as that.
Another question in as well. We'll have to quickly dash through. We're running very quickly out of time this morning, sadly. A business has been invited by another business to merge with them, or to work with them, should I say, in like a cooperative kind of way. And the similar businesses working under the same umbrella. Okay. Well, how would they go about it?
Okay.
Obviously keeping their own identity as well.
Yes, okay. a lot of these things are called collaboration agreements or partner agreements, and without taking the fire from Donald and Morecrofts, it's my limited knowledge on this, and I really believe that you should speak to a solicitor, so maybe when Donald's in next week we could revisit this one. But I work in collaboration with a number of companies where I provide my services to them and their clients, and they provide theirs to mine. It's the connection we have with Morecrofts and Advanced Business Vision, it's that sort of thing. It's quite prudent normally to put in what we call a collaboration agreement or some sort of partnership agreement, whereby we've got some legality of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, when we're going to do it, and it gives you an understanding of what the sort of the perimeter is, what the framework is, so you're not going to step outside. It also gives you some safety, so that you know that you're trading as your own business. It's not their business. You know, you've got that sort of protection, and as we know from Donald every week, it's that protection that we need as an individual and as a business as we go forward. If it's somebody out there who is thinking of doing this under an umbrella, I would seriously take some legal advice. Take along what this umbrella company has asked you to do, put some thoughts, some questions down yourself, and take them and see a solicitor. As we say every week, do your homework, get it in place. Simple as that. And
just be very, very careful as well.
Totally, yeah. But know what you're getting into, really, Adam. It really is about knowing and understanding what you want to do. Absolutely.
And do you think it's more of a dangerous game getting involved with friends? Because I think that can sometimes lead to more problems as well.
Of course. What we call the honeymoon period, you know, when two friends get together and have a fantastic idea for a business, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's like, oh, look what we're going to do. This time next year we'll be millionaires. And we've heard that one before, haven't we? Forgive me. But it's about that. Everyone gets euphoric, everyone gets up, everyone's driving forward for this, you know, and they think, we're going to do this. Somewhere down the line, things might not go to plan, and there might be a bit of a fallout. If you haven't got agreements in place, whether they be partnership agreement, shareholders agreement, or whatever, you've got no legal framework. You need that legal framework in place, so God forbid, if something does go wrong, you're both protected. That's what I would say. Solicitor all the time.
Yeah, as I say, so, and do shop around.
Absolutely.
As well. Right, we've literally got a minute.
Okay, no problem.
A minute to go. So I'm going to just say, plug away your website. If people do want to come and speak to you, because it's gone so quickly again.
It always does.
It really, really has done. Yeah. And I'll point people towards the Periscope as well. If you want to listen again, it's on Periscope. It'll be there for the next day. Yeah. So have a listen.
But we've got our website is obviously for Donald and Morecrofts. It's morecrofts.co.uk. All the legal advice is on there. All his teams up there. Mine is advancedbusinessvision.com. We've got a dedicated telephone line 0151 668 0363. Speak to Donald, speak to me via that line. We're both on Twitter at Morecrofts and at ABV_LTD. We're also on YouTube, on Catch Up. We do the show as we know, and we reduce that down so people can go and listen again. It's fantastic.
So there's plenty of ways to get the advice as well. And I would advise too, if you do want questions asking, you can get in touch in the week as well. I've got a personal email address from the radio, adam.sidon@wirralradio.co.uk. If you send them into that, we'll jot them down and we'll ask them on the Thursday morning.
Absolutely.
So and you're back next week.
See you next week, and Donald will be with me next week. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Brilliant. So legal advice and business advice back next week on 92.1. Paul, an absolute pleasure.
Thanks
as
a lot,
per
Adam.
usual.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thank you.